Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Lionel here, and this is going to be a response video to Dark Frag's response to my niche versus designer take 3 video. So this is take 4. Yes, we will continue this dialogue, and I think it's a healthy dialogue to have. We can have fun with it. We don't have to get, you know, we get too personal with stuff. I remember someone responded to one of the videos I made. I didn't pronounce it right or something. They got upset, so I got upset. I made a video and I ended up deleting the video. Took something, just too personal. It was a rough day for me. So anyway, um, here's a response video to Dark Frag. So here's what I do. I mean, I'm not a guy who dismisses people. I'm not a dismissive person. Someone says something, and they could be right, and I could be wrong, and I'm easily humbled by stuff. I mean, I'm wrong about stuff. Here's one thing I realized when I was about 29. I realized that I don't know much about anything, and whatever I do know, that's going to change most likely. I haven't experienced life enough, so I take everything with a grain of salt, and I want to make a response video. So anyway, I went to the mall because he recommended a few things, Perry Ellis Knights, and he talked about some other frags. So I took it upon myself to go to the mall to smell some stuff. Here's what I figured out. Perry Ellis Knight smells like everything else, and I'm being honest. I mean, there's nothing absolutely unique about it. They just fickled with a couple of things and whatever. Put it on, lasted a few hours, it was gone. Now listen, here's what I'm saying. If you go to Macy's today and you buy a gift set of Perry Ellis Knight, like first of all, most guys won't use most of that stuff. They're not going to use a shower gel. They may use the aftershave, most likely not. I mean, this is personal experience. This was before I started to really collect. Um, you're gonna pay out of the door almost $80. I think it was like 70 something dollars. Now, you can go to Lucky Set and get, there's about 5 or 6 houses where you can pay eh, about that price, maybe $15, $20 more, and get a superior fragrance. Listen to me. You can go to FragranceNet, put in base notes as your product code, and you can get Shergy for $89, $90 shipped. Or you can go to Macy's and buy Perry Ellis Knight for $80. Now, guys, tell me this: what's a better fragrance? I mean, let's be honest. Like, we have to be honest. Even if you don't like Sherky, what's better composed? What has the better composition? So that's one thing. The next thing is this. Um, when I say designer fragrances versus niche fragrances, I'm really talking about accessibility. So there are designers. So let me give you some designer frags. Terre de Hermes, Dior Homme Intense, L'Instant de Guerlain Extreme, Guerlain Shalimar, Yves Saint Laurent's Opium, Yves Saint Laurent's M7. Um, what's another one? Give me something else. Give me something else, somebody. Give me some exclusives. Um, Tom Ford's Black Orchid, like those types of fragrances. Those are designer fragrances. The problem is the accessibility. So when I'm talking about designer fragrances, I'm talking about a person walking into the average department store and they're smelling something, and they're walking out of the door. Um, those fragrances are inferior to niche fragrances. Now, if you want to get into the more complex designer fragrances, again, where can you buy Dior Homme Intense? Tell me. First of all, you have to know that the scent exists, number one. Secondly, you have to go and call a Dior boutique and get it sent to you, because the average person doesn't have accessibility to a Dior boutique. Again, so let me talk about something when I'm talking about designer versus. Here's the problem with designer fragrances. Designer fragrances all use the same notes. They all ride each other coattails. None of them will take any risk, and they all smell exactly alike. I went and smelled again. Here's what I did. I went and smelled like a little bit of Rocawear, some Issey Miyake, some what's called. I mean, and at the end of the day, they were they were all citrus. They were all a little bit of Tonka and a little bit of woods. That was it. One has a little more woods in the top, with maybe a ounce of maybe a splash of spiciness. The other one had all citrus at the top with woods in the heart and some vanilla, something in the base. Like they were so similar that I really couldn't tell the difference. Like it would be redundant to own those fragrances. Outside of a London and a couple of others, maybe Dolce the One is a bit unique. Um, um, the other ones, man, Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme. That's a bit unique to some other fragrances. So but I can count on my hand. I can literally walk into Dillard's and count on my hand how many of those fragrances are unique. I would say yes, you should buy that one because that one's unique. Once you cross that threshold of 5 bottles, that's it. Everything else is so pitifully similar that you owning those bottles are ridiculous. Again, all of us here. I'm telling you by experience. All of us, none of us reach for none of those fragrances. None of us wear those fragrances. Outside of Mark, and this is not a ding on Mark. Mark owns 500 freaking bottles of fragrances. He buys stuff that he hasn't even opened. But for the average guy who's going to go somewhere between 35 to 50 bottles, I mean, owning all these summer designer scents is redundant. I went and smelled our Armani Code Sport. It smells exactly like Dior Homme Sport with just a little difference. They took the same DNA and just twisted it just a little bit. Um, Even if you go to like a Laurent Sport and Versace Pour Homme is very, very similar. Um, um, you know, I'm trying to think what else I smelled. Um, what else did I smell? What else did I smell? Some of the other ones, Loam and something else. All of them are citrus and a little bit of something else, and that's it. I mean, they take no risk. What it is they're taking advantage of you. They know what they do. What they're doing is they're going knowing how they sell. So they understand, like these people are marketing geniuses. They're not in this business for any reason. So they know that they're going to have a sales associate stand outside the door during some of these holidays. You're going to spray something on the car. You're going to smell it, like it, and buy it. And that's it. That's going to be the gist of the average person's witch call. Now, for us fragrance collectors, like it would be ridiculous for us to spend that kind of money on those fragrances when we can get on split. Listen, here it is. There are so many splits out there that it's outrageous. I mean, guys are splitting stuff that's 50 mils now. I seen, I think Pegasus was splitting LDDM, and Travis split Shergy, and um, my man Q&A, Claynum, they splitting everything over there now. Bottle splitters are splitting stuff. I mean, people are splitting everything, man. Makers are splitting everything. So you don't need to waste your money on those fragrances where these fragrances are going to last longer, project better, give you a more complex composition. Don't waste your money on that stuff. I'm telling you now. Like Dolce & Gabbana's come out with a sport. Franchise just did a video. It's absolutely right. I mean, that fragrance is going to last a couple hours. That's it. If Dolce and Gabbana wants to do something, they need to find a way to refine what they've already done, because Dolce and Gabbana the One is a classic fragrance. I mean, its composition is wonderful. But the longevity and the projection is a problem for everybody. You got to soak yourself in it. Then it becomes cloying for the first hour. Then it's so I get about 5 hours on it, 5 6 hours. So um um so all I'm saying is this: there are a few unique fragrances out there, but if you start getting to the M7s, the Terre d'Hermes, those fragrances are so unique. You might as well put them in a niche designer level. Um, so you're welcome. So if you really want to be technical about it, think of a fragrance like this. You'll spend $125 on La Ardere dessert, right? 3 sprays and it lasts all freaking day. So 3 sprays is less than a quarter of a meal. So really, when you think about it, you're really getting comparable to a which call. If you pay, you're actually getting maybe a better value for 1.7 at 125 shipped than you would get on Perry Ellis Night for $70 and it lasts a few hours. You see where I'm going? Even Burberry London. Burberry London, great scent. Longevity on it is ridiculous. Like people complain about Dolce & One. You don't get much longer with Burberry London. Very nice, very complex scent for what it does, especially for a designer scent, easily accessible. But the longevity on it. So, but you can get something better quality that lasts longer, gives you more complex, more natural smelling. And really, when you think about a dollar for dollar, you're getting the same scent. I want you to check out Victoria's, EAODMG. I know her name is Victoria. She has a page. She has a blog. Go check out her video about longevity and things like that. Because then she puts up a bottle, right, and she values the bottle. She said, well, it costs this much, but deduct this much for this, add this much for this, deduct this much for this. So at the end of the day, she put a normal designer fragrance, up against a $200 bottle, and at the end of the day, they were the same value. Now, there was some subjectivity in it, but at the end of the day, she's right. Why spend $60, $50 on something inferior when you can spend $50, $60 on something, on a split for something superior? So that's my response to you, Dark Frag. Let me hear what you got to say. Again, I tested these fragrances out. I got quite a bit of them in my And at the end of the day, my niche fragrances just perform better. Yes, give me a second, Josh. Go. Sorry about that. So at the end of the day, you have to value. You have to put some type of value on something. And then once you put that value on it, you'll start to realize, well, yeah, maybe I'm spending $60 more, but I'm getting a superior fragrance. I'm getting a better performing, better composed, more thought went into it. And as a consumer, I want to spend my money wisely. And at the end of the day, a niche fragrance is going to do that for you. That's my perspective. Let me know what you got to say. Peace.